You know, it's very, very important to really understand what we've got coming. And that if you do have the spirit of truth, your job is to warn the people. Your job is to save some lives. Your job is to teach of God's love and mercy and to show them the truth of the Spirit. That Spirit is the eternal Son of God, perfect in all thy ways. You know, to have the Spirit of truth, it's to have the faith and the will of God and to try to walk as closely to that will as you can. Now, albeit none of us are perfect, and I absolutely and most certainly am not. But the leading of the Spirit is, and if you can maintain that steadfast faith in Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, and you have that ability, you have that firm foundation that is able to support that more and more that can be given to you, that understanding will come. That wisdom will come. We see the admonishment that Jesus says, be thou wise as serpents, you know? Because we are contending with the wise serpents in all their ways. So we're not supposed to be ignorant of the devices of Satan. So in this spirit of truth has led me to understand all of their devices, and I'm not ignorant. I'm doing my best to convey what this warning is, and at the same time the good news of the mercy of this Son of God as he's proclaimed, I will have mercy and not a sacrifice, that he has come to save all men, and quite plainly says all manner of sins will be forgiven of the sons of men, and that all flesh is his, and that he's going to bring it all unto a righteous judgment. Not a judgment from fire from the sky that is designed to kill sinners, of which he himself has clarified that he loves and that he's come to save. So we know who wants to destroy the sinners. We know that who's been stoning the sinners and who's been doing it all by the proclamations of this ancient Yahweh God that is further connected to these ancient Babylonian and Sumerian deities. So to have the spirit of truth, you got to be given the warning of the sight of the spirit of truth, and that's about this coming fire from the sky. So I'd like you to just to fully absorb that I'm telling you that Jesus Christ is absolutely in the midst of the lost sheep known as the house of Israel, and he is doing his best to not be destroyed by them on the cross until he can fulfill his mission of the proclamation of the brotherhood of man, the all brotherhood of man under the fatherhood of God. And as you know, Yahweh sought to destroy the Gentiles and created Israel exclusively to perform an ethnic cleansing upon the lands. And we see that Jesus Christ is diametrically opposed to that. That he wants to bring all together under the house of the fatherhood of God, which makes all the believers, and as a result, the children of God. So please understand that the Spirit of Truth has a very concise and precise message. It's threefold. The first thing is the authority, the absoluteness of the fatherhood of God. The second, by consequence of the first, is the brotherhood of man. And the third is this warning, the warning of this coming destruction of the destroyer, Apollyon, who is associated with Enki, and then who is further associated with this Broadway, which is this site geometrically in their supposed sacred geometry of architecture that has been prepared in New York City to usher in this coming New World Order, aka Golden Age, the blood sacrifice of the destruction of Commercial City that is prepared to bring about Enki, the destroyer, Apollyon. That's what this fire from the sky is designed as it's being used to destroy these sinners. But if you understand what Isaiah chapter 34 is, that it's really this curse on these supposed people of Judea and the representation of the Judeans is representing these believers in Jesus Christ. It's trying to fulfill these believers of Jesus Christ, the believers of the conquering lion of the tribe of Judah, as these supposed Gentiles. So, to understand more on that, you would just have to look back through my video history, through the playlist, and look for the titles that are associated with Isaiah chapter 34. So, let's just go ahead and look a little further and see that Jesus Christ, once again, is going to speak out against this house of Israel and everything that they've been led into. This understanding of Jacob's well, as we look into chapter 4 of the book of John. Notice here, once again, verse 13. Notice once again who the house of Israel is. Ephraim is Israel, declared by Jacob. Ephraim is the 13th tribe of Israel. Connect that to Revelation chapter 13, verse 13. Hosea chapter 9, verse 13. All this fire from the sky come down at 13. 13 Bakhtun, 13 colonies, 13th tribe, 13th judge. Think about it. 13. Jesus answered and said unto her, whosoever drinketh of this water shall thirst again. Talking about what water? This Jacob's well. Now, if you remember, in Genesis chapter 49, it declares that the descendancy of Joseph, Ephraim, and Manasseh shall become fruitful beside this well. It's this very same well of Jacob that we see this Samaritan woman talking about, of which her forefathers drank, and all of their descendancy. So this well of Jacob, once again, quite plainly, Jesus Christ understands the fullness of this meaning. This is really in conveyance of this abyss that's in representation of this fiery flying serpent upon a rod, the caduceus, the wisdom bearer that we saw Moses was commanded by these fallen lords to construct this rod upon a serpent. And then we see Moses using this magic wand, aka magician rod, to perform all of these supposed miracles. Jesus Christ needs no magical wand to perform any miracles. And I don't think you saw him carrying upon a serpent wand staff, waving around, doing anything. He did it by his authority as the eternal Son of God, and that authority is not held up by a magic staff. But we know others believe in wooden amulets, wooden staves, and crystal stones for themselves to supposedly perform miracles. The Spirit of Truth performs miracles by the authority of the Father in heaven. So Jesus here clarifying, no, this well, even that they don't even know what they worship, being the representation of this one that comes from these abysmal waters, this supposed sea of truth, which in reality is a sea of deception. And I just hope that some people begin to realize that. So now we would just simply go once again to chapter 6, book of John. Guess what? Jesus Christ is absolutely consistent in his proclamations. It says, our fathers did eat manna in the desert, as it is written, he gave them bread from heaven to eat. Then Jesus said unto them, verily, verily, I say unto you, Moses gave you not that bread from heaven, but my Father giveth you the true bread from heaven. For the bread of God is he which cometh down from heaven and giveth life unto the world. Notice it's not death unto the world. Notice it's life unto the entire world. And that's going to be upheld in that righteous judgment. So you see, they're painting a very crude, rude, and unrealistic image of this mighty, eternal, perfected Son of God. And that is how you know who has the Spirit of truth. The person that can reveal what the Spirit of truth is revealing in the fullness. So as we go now and just take a look here, I've got some more show you here that I want to show you on a globe. All right? And we're going to get quite exacting here. And let's go ahead first and take a look at as you please do. I've already lost it here. Remember what we saw in Luke, people. Jesus Christ is the same yesterday, today, and forever. Remember his proclamation of mercy, that he does not want a sacrifice. Take my words seriously if you're sincere. Please do. Okay. Let us do this. Let's look at something that's going to bring us a lot closer to an understanding. This is going to be Revelation chapter 11. I'll be back.